introduce the keynote speaker. This is Bobby Jo Meredith. She's an engineering manager at Schneider Electric. How do you pronounce that?
Schneider Electric.
Schneider Electric, thank you. A global company of 140,000 employees focused on solving the energy crisis. She received her BS from Middle Tennessee State University here in computer engineering technology with a minor in computer science. And she started working at Schneider Electric through an internship, okay? She began there through an internship, so this is very, very important. She was working with Fireware test team, and since being hired in 2006, has had several roles in engineering quality, and is now in management. And in addition to her career, Bobby Jo is also a member of the Engineering Technology Advisory Board and the Girls Raised in Tennessee Science Leadership Committee at MTSU. She also participates in a number of local charities, such as Habitat for Humanity. And she was recently selected for Nashville's Top 30 Under 30, which recognized local young professionals for business success and community involvement. She currently resides here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and with her husband, Brandon, their children, Jason and Paige, and their 2 dogs and cats. So welcome, please. Let's welcome with a round of applause. Thank you.
First of all, I'm very excited to be talking to you today. I did go to MTSU. I came in here, went to the engineering technology, and majored in the computer focus, right? So I'm going to talk to you today. I'm not going to talk about why we need women in engineering. You're going to hear some of that today. I'm not going to talk about what it's like being a woman in a male-dominated field. You can find out about all of those things. What I'm going to talk to you today about is what was my journey? Why did I end up in engineering? Why do I love being in engineering? And where can I go with it? So it kind of help you see what are some of the possibilities. So we're going to be exploring those today. You're going to be having some opportunities for hands-on. And so really we're just going to talk through these things. So first of all, how did I start in engineering? How did I end up here? Did I always want to be an engineer? No, right? I remember the first time in 2nd grade when somebody asked me what I wanted to be. I was like, I like to travel, and I want to be a truck driver, right? So I was like, oh, this is great. You get to go see new places. But then I was like, you know, I changed my mind multiple times, as we all do, right? So 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. And somewhere in 5th grade, I started learning about math and really starting to enjoy math. And I was inspired by my 5th grade math teacher. And I decided at that point I wanted to maybe teach math one day, right? So I was like, okay, maybe 5th grade I'm going to be a math teacher. And maybe middle school, elementary school math teacher. And then I started to get into sciences. So math, I still loved math, but I also started to get into science and enjoy science. And I was starting to learn biology and learn about animals, and I started watching like the Animal Planet and all of these kinds of things. And I decided probably around the 8th grade, I'm going to be a marine biologist, right? I'm going to go still want to travel, but I also want to, you know, maybe contribute to the greater good, save some animals, figure out how to minimize habitat destruction, things like that. So all through all these things, I still explored. I still tried to learn new things, still growing, and still today, still growing, right? So next, I was like, I want to be in the Peace Corps. So 10th grade, I had started to get into some of the earth sciences, buildings, and things like that. And I wanted to still travel, and I still wanted to help people. And I was like, maybe I'm going to go into the Peace Corps, and that's going to be what I do for a few years. And then I remember in high school, I went to a science fair, right? And I had designed an earthquake-proof building. In order to test this building, I had to design a table that would shake so that I could test my building. And I worked on this and solved this problem. How do I test my earthquake building? And at the science fair, my building failed. Right? It did not do well. I didn't get any recognition for that, but I actually got recognized for my table. And it was basically a motor that shook the table. And this really triggered something in me that I can learn and solve problems. And I actually got rewards and recognition at the science fair for electrical engineering. And I'm like, what is this? Right? Like, this is cool. And so this failure of mine, maybe it was a failure, but really it helped me see what other possibilities are out there. And so at that point I was like, okay, I'm going to go into electrical engineering or computer engineering. I'd also started to do code and things at that point. And so that was what I went into college to do. And I came to MTSU, great school, great program, and you're going to hear all about that today. So what were my final drivers? What things finally said that I'm going to come into engineering? So the math was still there, right? So I still loved math, still enjoyed to do math. I also like solving problems, solving puzzles. And I had found that energy a lot with it, like with the earthquake table and other things that I'd gotten to do. Money, we talked about stability. I wanted a job that I could support my family with, that I could have that stability. I didn't need to get the newest sports car maybe, but it definitely was important. And I also wanted to contribute to the greater good. So I still wanted to solve problems for the world, for people, for everyone around us, right? So those were the things that drove me to choose engineering. And why was I successful? So how did I get through the course? You can see 4 of these 5 things, or 4 of these 6 things, you know, I can still do math, are not knowledge, right? So creativity, curiosity, love of learning, and resilience. So these are things these are traits, right? So these are the things that are important to have when you're going into a field like engineering, because you are experimenting, you're learning, you're doing all these kinds of things. And that's really what engineering is finding a way outside of the box to solve these problems that we have. And there'll always be a better way to do things, so there will always be need for engineers. The other 2, math and science. Now, you don't have to love math and science. You don't have to be the best at math and science, but you need to get along with math and science, right? So you need to be able to do a little bit of it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that too much. Now, so once I kind of got into engineering, why did I stay? The first reason, hands-on fun. So as Dr. Frutiston said, I got pulled into the moon buggy when I was here, and I really started getting into hands-on, let's explore, let's experiment. I got to use tools for the first time, like grinders and welders and all of these other kinds of things, and it was absolutely fascinating to see this project come together. And there was a bunch of us working on this team of maybe 10 people putting together this moon buggy. And for me, it was also very powerful to see the pieces build up and to actually come to a finished product that worked. And we did pretty well the first year that we did it. Stability, remember that's important for me. So as I got into engineering, the more I learned about engineering, the more I learned about how important engineering is to everything that we do and that is around us. This is just the latest thing from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and it's some of the engineering fields that have a 20% growth rate for jobs. So that means more jobs are growing, and there are lots and lots of others that are growing, maybe not at this extreme rate, but always growing field. And then job satisfaction. So as we said, I was an intern. Through MTSU, I got connected to Schneider Electric to be an intern. And in that internship, I was a test engineer. And so I had no idea what this was, no idea what I was going to do. And I went in and they're like, you need to break our product, right? So we have power meters to measure energy. I said, go break it. So you see what you can do. And so this was the problem. So I got to use creativity to solve this problem. How do I break this pretty well-designed product to make it even better? And the company, Schneider Electric, so it's helping to solve the energy crisis, right? So it still gave me that job satisfaction as well to meet my need for contributing, okay? So that's kind of why I stayed, why I love engineering, all of the fun things. So what has engineering done as far as opening doors? So the skills that I have learned in engineering have opened tons of doors for me. So I have been in engineering, I have been in quality, and I have been a manager now. And I have endless possibilities, right? So I could go into sales, I could go into marketing, trying to talk to customers and find out what kind of products they want next, things like that, and helping to drive the future and the strategy of our company. I could go into more on quality, I could go more engineering, and within engineering, with the background that I have, I can do hardware or firmware or software. So lots of doors have opened, lots of opportunities. And then the other thing, if you remember in my career path, I talked a lot about travel. So in the job that I have, I've been able to go to many countries. So I've been to Hong Kong, Shanghai, India, Czech Republic, And I have the opportunity to go to even more places, live, work, just visit these kinds of places and explore the people, explore the cultures around me. So again, that's another opportunity that this career has and will continue to have. And I don't know if you know these two analogies, but climbing the ladder, I could choose with the skills that I have, the problem-solving skills, the creativity, thinking outside the box. I can go anywhere that I want. If I wanted to climb the ladder, I can, or if I want to play in the jungle gym. So try different fields and different things. Maybe not necessarily go up, but go out and get a broader knowledge. So the skills that I've gained in engineering allow me to make those choices. Okay? And so that's really, really my journey. And today is all about your journey. It's about where are you going to go? Where are you going to be? What do you want to do? And we hope you pick engineering because we think it's awesome. But there are lots of opportunities. So this is just a snapshot of the top 5 engineering branches. There are dozens of subcategories under here. And again, engineering is in almost everything that we do. So I was like, I probably have a phone somewhere. But if we look at your iPhones, look at your Androids, electrical engineering really is maybe some of the app interface. It's the microprocessor. It's the memory on that phone. How do we make these things smaller so that your phones are tinier? How do you make the screens bigger? Things like that, right? Civil engineering, building bridges, building these landmarks that people see, helping to solve some of the challenges with nature, things like that. Mechanical engineering. Mechanical actually doesn't get as much credit as it needs to. So mechanical engineering, if you look at your iPhone, it's the corners on the iPhone, the design of the plastics. How do we the material that the cases are out of. It's how do we build a manufacturing line to design your favorite products, right? So mechanical is really interesting as well. And then there's chemical engineering. So making better fuels, making better plastics, things like that, right? And then systems engineering is if you're interested in kind of a wide variety of things, this kind of puts all these interdisciplinary engineering groups together and allows you to build systems. So here you can see aerospace, so building a spacecraft, building a solar farm, building these kinds of things. So it's that overview. If you're really not sure what to get into, that's a good option as well. So again, this is pretty much the end of the presentation, and I just encourage you today and throughout the rest of your time as you go to college, as you explore your career, look for these opportunities, explore what engineering has to offer. It's brought a lot of satisfaction and helped to complete my life, and I think it can for many of you as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Can we take some questions?
Sure.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I should have brought goodies. Yes, Judith.
What do you do when you travel to these other countries? I mean,
So it depends on what I'm there for.
Yeah, right.
So,
What's an example?
yeah. So for example, I'm an engineering manager for North America. So that means I have people that I help in the Tennessee area and in Canada. So I travel back and forth and I meet with my people and I help solve their problems. So they're engineering for customers and I walk them through and we figure out what are the best solutions and best ways to solve things. And I help them solve the customer's needs. If I travel to India, for example, I'm working with engineering team there. We make some of our products there, so we're working to find out what's the best way to manufacture things, how to solve, again, solving problems. We may have something that's hard to manufacture. How do we work together to make it easier to manufacture, things like that. And then as well, like with the Czech Republic and Hong Kong, I was actually invited to a leadership opportunity at my company where they pull in like 300 people every year. Out of 140,000 people, they pick 300 and say, you're gonna go do some training, right? And so I got to spend 10 days in Prague. I only got to spend a few days in Hong Kong, but it was absolutely amazing getting to, again, visit the people and see those cities, so.
Doing all of this hard work, you had a lot of fun, right?
Oh yeah, always.
I'll ask a question. So let's say that I have an idea.
Yes.
And at what point do engineers get involved in said idea?
So it depends,
So for
right?
example,
Yes.
you buy a picture frame
Uh-huh.
and you have that sticker that's on that picture frame and it doesn't come off and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So literally does someone, or a plastic person that wants to find a top that matches a piece of Tupperware easily than going through your drawer to try to find the top easily?
Yeah. So let's take the sticker. So if we think about the sticker, that would be more of the chemical engineering. So there's a fine line between chemist and chemical engineering, and I don't know it because I'm not a chemical person, but it would be finding that glue, so making sure that the particles are sticking together in such a way that it comes off easily, but that it sticks through shipping and the store and everything else, right? So it's really at the product design phase. And so what happens for us is we have customers and they're like, I'm really not happy my glue is sticky, right? Like we don't want it to be sticky. And so it comes into engineering and we try and solve that problem. So we'll take the problem and we'll test it different ways, we'll try different materials, and then we say, okay, we have the material, and then we usually give it to a manufacturing group. And they have to go source the material, they have to go buy it, and then build it, and we hope that it works right. But again, so there's the testing part of that. So once it's been built, it comes back to engineering. We usually test it to make sure that it's not sticky anymore, not as sticky as it was.
So where is like a chemical engineering place within the United States?
3M, right? So I can't think of any others right now, but yeah.
We do have a lady here. She's a chemical engineer right here. So.
Perfect. Yes.
What do you do for fun?
Oh. Okay, so I get into everything, like absolutely everything. So again, I have 2 kids, love my kids, 5 and 3, so little ones. So usually there's some kind of, I don't know, My Little Pony or something that we're doing. But then also I do a lot of things for me. So I really enjoy talking with other girls and females about engineering. That's one of the charities I participate in. I also do things like endurance sports. So I've done half marathons, I've done some bike events. I hope to do a triathlon this year. That's my goal by June. So those are the things that I do for me. And then of course, puzzles. Over Christmas I did a 2,000 piece jigsaw puzzle, right? So like I said, I do lots of things, just depends. So because I'm fairly high energy, if you can't tell, I kind of go into lots of things. So.
What kind of fun thing did you do while you were going to school and you were not married?
I was married. I was married my second year of college. Yeah. So no, but like I said, the moon buggy, things like that were really fun. Of course, I went to MTSU football games. Still go to MTSU football games. My son loves the Blue Raiders, so things like that, of course, right? My Little Pony. Don't ask. I know. Yes.
You go to all these different places. Do you know any language? Do you have to learn any other language?
So as English speakers, we are blessed. I have not had to speak another language other than English. I can usually get around. I've had some really, what's the right word? I've had to feel some humility several times. I remember in China, it was the first time I really felt like the challenge of not having the native language. I had to go buy contact solution, and I spent like 20 minutes trying to talk to 4 different people about like, where's my contact solution? It was so challenging, very humbling, but at the same time a really interesting experience, right? So I do speak a little bit of Spanish. I know like 5 words of French, but that's about it. So yes.
How often do you say you travel?
So it depends. So sometimes, okay, so probably between once a quarter, which is once every 3 months, or once a month, right? Once a quarter. So every 3 months is a quarter of the year. So we in the business world, we speak in quarters. So every 3 months I'll travel for a week. Or so, and sometimes it's as often as once a month. So Monday, I leave on a 2-week trip to Victoria, Canada, for example. Any other questions? Yes, Judith.
So where do you travel not for work?
Okay, so not for work. Usually we stick around the North America, Caribbean area. My husband and I love cruises, so we've been to the Caribbean a couple times. Just took the kids to Disney World. That was amazing. But we also like to do things like hiking and camping, so we'll Gatlinburg, things like that. So. But we have taken the kids to Canada before. So. Yes?
What's the most challenging problem that you've had?
I'll try and think of the most challenging engineering problem that we've had, because as a manager, we have a whole host of other problems. Probably, so our product, so electrical components drift. And when I say drift, they are not always consistent. So your phone, your batteries, they die over time, they get worse, things like that. And so we have had challenges in our products with drift. And when I was in test, I remember spending weeks and weeks at a time testing this to try and find out exactly which components were changing and then were causing quality issues on our products. And so that was probably the most challenging one, just simply because our product may have 300 components on 4 different circuit boards, and we have to figure out which one component is causing the quality issue. So it takes a lot of pinpointing and educated directions and things like that. So thank you. Okay, I don't know how much time we have. Any more? Yes?
How much are you making?
Should I answer that question?
It's up to you. You do not have to answer.
Okay, so we'll put it in perspective. My husband works full-time at a retail outfit, and I make 3 times as much as he does. We'll just leave it there. Yeah. Okay? Yes?
When you were on the moon buggy team, what are some of the things that you learned by being on the team?
So on the moon buggy team, so coming in, I was computer science, basically. I was computer engineering. I knew nothing about really shocks and how to do anything mechanically, anything at all, really. So that was probably the most interesting thing, was really learning how all of these different forces helped us get over the obstacles and things. It was quite powerful. Yes?
How long did it take you guys to finish the moon buggy?
I don't remember. How long did it take us to finish the first moon buggy? It was a couple months.
About 2 semesters.
Was it 2 semesters? Yeah. Okay, I came on late then, yeah. Yes. Well, it's the moon buggy competition. And so you guys, are we learning about that today? Yeah.
While she's standing up, let's go around here and let each person say who they are and what they do here, and then you will find it. Go.
Yes, there we go.
I'm Jeremy Posey. I'm the graduate student in charge of the Experimental Vehicles program here at MTSU. There are several competitions that we do: Formula Cars, Bajas, Solar Boats. Moon Buggy is one of our best ones. We're the best at. And so our team captain is right here, Ryan. He's our captain last year, where we won first in the nation. He's going to win first worldwide this year.
Perfect.
My name is Emily Hart. I'm a graduate student and also an assistant in the engineering technology department. And my major would be in health and safety.
Hi, my name is Vishwas Bedekar. I'm assistant professor in engineering technology and currently teaching metals and metallurgy course to freshmen.
I'm Ryan Miller. I'm currently a student here at MTSU. I'm a senior and I'll be graduating this May. Hopefully my wife is counting on me to graduate. So, but like Jeremy was saying, I'm captain of the moon buggy team. And here at MTSU, what you'll find that other schools don't offer is we were very hands-on. Basically every engineering course you take, you'll have a lab that goes along with it. But if you go over to like Tennessee Tech, you might do one lab the entire time you're there. So we're very hands-on here. It's a lot of fun, and Moon Buggy is just one of the teams that the students can be involved in. We have a formula car. They build a complete formula race car from scratch. We have a Baja, which is basically like a dune buggy, and then we have a solar boat. So there's lots of opportunities for young ladies like y'all to be involved in, and this is Dustin. He's my right-hand man. He's my co-captain this year.
Now somebody asked about moon buggy, and there's a lady back there, with the camera. Have you ever seen? Shake your hand. You. Yeah, she is a graduate student. She came to see me, and I told her no choice. She is a moon buggy rider coming to see. And she kind of agreed. So anyway, now someone said moon buggy. Do you know who was the first guy who walked on the moon? What was his name? Okay, how did he go around?
In a buggy.
In a buggy. What was the name of that buggy? They didn't call it moon buggy then. What did they call it? What? Lunar what? Rover. That's what they call it. And somehow now they call it moon buggy, but they have changed the name to the original name for this year. So from now on, they are not going to call it moon buggy. In the next year, they're going to call it what? Rover. Okay, and it makes sense. But they made that. So this moon buggy they made, it goes upstairs, downstairs, over the curve. I'm not kidding you. Because the obstacle is look like a moon. She knows
Yeah.
that. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
paddling. And when she got finished, she laid down on the grass. Water, you know. But, I mean, it is really good. So, and a student, the beauty of it is when you put the team together, she knows. Do you think a student going to work together nicely? No. I am telling you my way. Who are you to tell me your way is better than my way? You guys know how it works, right? But they learn how to work together as a team, how to manage things, and that's what industry wants, that you do the best is possible, not what you think. And those who work on the moon buggy, they picture it on the paper, on the TV, live TV, I'm not kidding you. So your parents gonna see you. They are proud of you. Oh, that's my daughter, you know, on the NASA TV, you know, showing. So it's good for you, good for your resume, and when you go to work, you are all the experience. So working in this project is like a industrial work experience. And I said, there are male, female, working together, you're gonna see them all. Okay? And she's making all of this money because she can do this project.
Okay. Yeah, so how much more time do we have? I don't want to run us over.
Yeah,
5 more minutes. Any more questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
How did you apply for internships?
So I was actually sought out for an internship. So we have a pretty good relationship between Schneider Electric and MTSU, and we had a round of internships. So the last intern came and found the next one when they got hired on. And we had a pretty successful rate. So one of our interns is a director of engineering in Baltimore now. Another one left and founded his own company. So I'm here and I'm the engineering manager for two sites. So we've had a lot of success out of the internship program. And I have another one that I've hired on a project as well. So, yep.
So they said internship, you know, they go work on the company part-time.
Oh, yeah.
But see, if you come to MTSU, majoring in engineering, and in your second year, don't videotape that. On the second year, if you come and say, I am working at, I don't know, McDonald's, Walmart and stuff, I have to say, get out of my office. Do you know why? Because when you are when you are in the field of engineering in your second year, you take some classes, okay, that you have, your knowledge is different now. You could be working in the local companies $20, $30 per hour because you are an engineering student in your second year. I'm not kidding you. So think about those things. Advantage from beginning.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions? No?
Okay, we're going to move forward and Julie's
Perfect.
gonna- let's
Thank you.
say-
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So let's talk to me.
Uh-huh.